For today's video we're going to show you the top 5 vintage cars. A vintage car is, in the most general sense, an old automobile, and in the narrower senses of car enthusiasts and collectors, it is a car from the period of 1919 to 1930. Such enthusiasts have categorization schemes for ages of cars that enforce distinctions between antique cars, vintage cars, classic cars, and so on. At top 5, the 1914 Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost, which has only 5 skiff bodies, were ever applied to the legendary Silver Ghost chassis. Henry Burdett was responsible for the coachwork, which embodied rich mahogany affixed and ash framework previous to this design. Burdett had also done 2 superb skiff coachworks on 1913 Panhard Levisor chassis. The body itself was torpedo in shape, which aided in the aerodynamics of the car. No doors were featured on the either side. Passengers and driver had to hop the side using step plates and adjustable handles. With one of the most exclusive bodies ever tied on the Silver Ghost platform, the Silver Ghost Burdett skiff is one of the most precious and priceless pre-war cars ever made. Top 4, the Aston Martin V8 Zagato. The V8 Zagato model Aston Martin was a grand tourer of the 1980s. Just 52 examples of the coupe and 37 of the convertible were built between 1986 and 1990. The coupe was first unveiled at the 1986 Geneva Motor Show, and orders were quickly taken. Despite only showing the drawing of the car, the decision to build the later convertible was controversial. All 52 coupes had already been purchased at the height of the supercar speculation market, and the convertibles were to remain more desirable than their predecessors. The V8 Zagato, as the name suggests, was based on the Aston Martin V8, but with a body by the famed Zagato coach builder. At top 3, the 1952 Chevrolet Deluxe convertible V8, and it was a trimline of Chevrolet automobiles marketed from 1941 to 1952, and was the volume sales leader for the market during the 1940s. The line included, at first, a 4-door sedan, but grew to include a fastback 2-door Aero sedan, and other body styles. The 1941 Chevrolet was the first generation that didn't share a common appearance with Chevrolet trucks, while the Chevrolet AK series truck did share common internal components. If you like the simple, clean look of the pre-Tri 5 Chevrolets but need a little more go power than the old stove Bullet 6 could provide, well, perhaps this 1952 Chevrolet style Eileen Deluxe convertible is the solution. A killer build that combines the smooth curves of the early 50s with strong 350 volts walong power that makes a big difference in how the car drives. This style Eileen Deluxe is a lot of high-end fun. At top 2, the Fiat 514, and is a model of car produced by the Italian automotive company, Fiat between 1929 and 1932. The Fiat 503 was replaced in 1929 by the 514 model, which came in many body types that included a sedan, a cabriolet and a spider. All of these were fitted with the same 1438cc engine, but every version had its own power output. The base version had 28 horsepower on the single carburetor system. Other models available were the Sporty S and the MM models. The 514 was conventional. It had semi-elliptic spring, ang all-round, a 4-speed gearbox and 4-wheel mechanical brakes. Adoption of hydraulic brakes partway through the car's production cycle being the model's most important development. At top 1, the 1963 Grand Prix. In the world of performance cars, a sleeper car can be best defined as a car that has all the outward appearances of a standard or base model car, but with added performance, essentially all go and no show. Even before the introduction of the GTO in 1964, Pontiac had already established itself as a force to be reckoned with on the street and track. This reputation ebbed and flowed in the following decades until its unfortunate demise in 2010. For consignment, the first generation of the GP that could be considered a sleeper car, big and bold, lots of long panels of steel, European-style driving lights in the grille, and a slightly thinned rear with tail lights and trim that runs the gamut from rear quarter to quarter. Deep wide sporty bucket seats, all in pretty good shape for this car, and some muscle under the long hood.